Now, Jill, we've tried to hit the party circuit as best we can on this week. Yesterday, we saw mermaids at a party at the aquarium. That was quite a sighting. Now, we saw little penguins. Now, but most of the parties here have been by the super PACs. The big parties have been the financial interests have had a lot of events. Can you tell us a little about what you've seen? Last time we talked here, you were talking about what you were expecting in money and politics at this convention.
That's true. I think, I've been watching the role of money in politics at Republican conventions going back to 1980, and I would say things have gotten more secretive. It's become a more difficult beat to cover, and I couldn't even get press credentials today for an event by one of the super PACs called Americans for Prosperity.
Didn't we have a reporter there, though?
We did, but
not Jill Abramson?
No.
Do you think it's because of your past history of writing about money and politics, or because you're the boss?
I have no idea, but they're keeping a very tight lid on. But the reporter from the Times who was there did bring me an AFP cookie from the event.
So you have
I'm
a souvenir.
Give it to you.
Oh, thank you very much. Thank you. Now, the other thing that we've talked about a lot today, really, is the factual questions, the truth squatting of the candidates. There are a lot of questions raised in the media about what Paul Ryan said last night. And can you talk a little bit about how we at the Times try to track that? Because it's in real time, it's very hard to keep up with who's saying what's right and what's wrong. You see it with both Republicans and Democrats.
Right. That's true. It's difficult, and the Ryan speech came rather late in the evening, close to everyone's newspaper deadline anyway. But I think it's one of the most important roles news organizations have, is to pay very close attention to the words that the candidates say and to analyze them and fact check them. And something that we did today that I thought was marvelous is we did an interactive where you could re-watch and hear Paul Ryan's speech, and then there was an annotation on the side that went through it fact by fact and pointed out that everything from the GM factory that had been shuttered before President Obama took office, to cuts in Medicare, to Mr. Ryan's criticism that President Obama simply shelved the Simpson-Bowles Commission's report, which he didn't point out he had voted against. It's a very cogent, very factual presentation of what was said and what the facts are.
When we do this fact-checking in other news organizations and also partisan sources are continually looking at parsing what the words are at the convention and in ads and speeches, do you think the din is so loud that maybe certain partisans or voters don't even care anymore and say, well, I don't care what they say, I want Ryan or I don't want Ryan, and that's it? I
worry about that, and I worry that both campaigns, and certainly at this convention, there's been a risk-reward kind of thinking where the risk of saying things that aren't factual doesn't seem that great, that the pace of the news cycle combined with saying very strong, aggressive things somehow supersedes sticking at least close to the facts, if not to the facts themselves. And I think that's distressing for the tone of politics and the health of the body politic.
When we do fact-checking at the Times and one party or another seizes on what we do as saying, aha, the New York Times agrees with us that candidate A was wrong or inaccurate, does that make us risk looking partisan at all?
Well, it's something that we have to watch closely. What we're doing is showing what and explaining what the facts are in a non-opinionated way. And if other people present what we've reported to bolster an opinion, it's on them. They're doing that. It sometimes concerns me, but I think our highest duty is to point out what the facts really are in any situation. That's what the New York Times news report is there to do.
Well, I'm hoping that after the speech tonight, after we've done all our fact checking, that someone will let you into a good party tonight.
We'll see. I'll try.
Okay. Thanks a lot, Jill.